welcome back to my channel. So have I got a story to tell you? I'm just going to be getting ready. Well, I say getting ready, I've still got makeup on from last night / yesterday, so I'm just going to top it up just so that I don't look so horrendous, because it's currently my lunch hour and I'm due in a meeting in the next half an hour, and I don't want to be going looking like this. But I'm not going to be going like full on all out, because I'm going to have a shower and probably do a workout and tan. So it would just be a waste if I did my makeup properly. I'm kind of in that space now where I'm like, if I'm wearing it for 5 minutes, don't bother, because what's the point? I don't want to waste it. Apologies, I have a 2-year-old just sat down here playing with all my makeup. So if you hear any rustling like that in the background, that is why. So this is really bad. I don't usually do this, but needs must. Ideally, I would take it all off and do a new base, like skincare and stuff, but I'm not going out anywhere, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to touch up my eyebrows. Anyway, so yeah, the story that I have to tell you. So as some of you may know, I'm supposed to be on holiday. If you watched my last vlog, I was getting ready to go on holiday. It's been a mad week because we've had an event at work. So I've literally been running around like crazy, planning this event with my friend. And then we were supposed to like jet off on holiday the following day. So the following day after the event, so bear in mind, got home after the event about 11 o'clock, and then we hadn't eaten the whole day because we were just sorting problems out, and we didn't stop at the event either. If any of you work in events, you know that you just do not stop. So we went to get a kebab literally at like midnight, and then I didn't go to sleep till like 1 o'clock, and then I was up again the next day, well, the same day, later that day, at 5 o'clock, sorting some work out because I still had loads to do. Yeah, so then I worked like 5 till midday, 1 o'clock, and then we were supposed to be leaving the house at 3, so, and I hadn't even packed at this point. Rushed to pack and sort out all my stuff, and then I managed to film a YouTube video in there somewhere. But I've actually refilmed it because it was that bad. And then we got in the car, went to the airport and flew to Glasgow, because as you may know, we live in Jersey and we can't get a lot of direct flights on holiday, so we have to fly into the UK and then somewhere else. So when we booked our holiday, we checked out the best prices and the best connecting flights, and it was coming up that Glasgow is the best. We'd never been to Glasgow, so we were really looking forward to it. So we booked to go to Glasgow, and we were supposed to be staying overnight either side of our holiday. So we stayed overnight, had a meal at the hotel. We stayed at the Marriott next to the airport, and then we went to bed to get some sleep before our flight the next day. Our flight was about 3 o'clock the next day, 3-4 o'clock. So what we did was I lay in bed and was like, oh my goodness, I have forgotten my pill. And I thought, well, I really don't want to be coming on whilst I'm on holiday. So I thought, I know what I'll do. See if I can order an emergency prescription from Boots or something online. So went on Superdrug and Boots and saw that they did like prescriptions online, and they're approved within 24 hours. So I was like, oh, perfect. Filled in a Boots and a Superdrug prescription request, just to see which one came back first, and then went to sleep, but also realised the front of my earring had gone missing, and I'd forgotten a couple of other things because it was just a mad rush. And then I got up the next day, phoned Boots doctors at like 8:30 a.m, and they came straight back to me with a prescription, like within 2 minutes of me phoning. They were amazing. So I dashed into Paisley. It was still a nightmare because the place I sent the prescription to didn't have that pill in stock, but then they sent it on to another store in Paisley and managed to sort it. So I got a taxi into Paisley to pick it up, along with, I think I'd forgotten like nail varnish. Ren didn't have any reins because she's really bad for running off at the minute. We also didn't have a conditioner, and I was missing the front of my earring, and if I let my earring fall out, it would heal up because I keep having trouble with this earring. So I headed into Paisley, panic, rushed into this piercing shop and was like, I need an earring, and bless him, he sold me 2. I also went and picked up the prescription and then went and bought some spare face masks and all the other bits that I needed to get. Dashed to get a taxi back to our hotel, and I managed to do this within about 45 minutes. Like, it's the fastest shopping that I've ever done. And we were like, perfect, we're organised. And we literally had time to kill just wandering around the hotel. So we headed to the airport, and the check-in desk wasn't open for another 45 minutes, so 50 minutes. So we decided to head to Starbucks to get a drink, and I'm quite happy because I managed to get a pumpkin spice latte. We don't have Starbucks here. And then about 10 minutes before it said the check-in desk was open, I thought I'd wander over and see what was going on. Got there and there was the biggest queue to check in. So I ran back to get Gav and we queued up waiting. We queued for over an hour to get to the front of the desk. And when we got there, they said, have you filled in your passenger locator form? And I said no, and I was just in a huge panic because we had booked the lounge, the other side, and we'd paid for it for 3 hours or so. And obviously the check-in desk was late opening, and then we had to queue for an hour. It was going to be a waste of time, and we would have wasted our money. So we moved to the side to fill in this passenger locator form. We didn't know anything about it. I didn't say anything. It was really unclear because online it made it sound like it was for the UK, not for Greece. On the page that I looked at, I was really confused. So I thought that we just had to take our vaccine certificate and our passport, and that was it. So we stepped aside and we're filling it in, and I said to the TUI rep, what do I put on the passenger locator form, the name on my passport or the name on my COVID certificate? Because my COVID certificate is in my married name and my passport is still in my maiden name because it hasn't expired yet since we've got married. So she turned around and said, have you got your marriage certificate? So I was like, no, but I've got a photo ID, driving license showing you like it's the same person. I've got a photo ID. And she was like, no, we need your marriage certificate. So then we were frantically trying to call someone back here. Obviously, we don't have any family or anything in Jersey. Frantically calling a friend to see if she could go in the house and get the vaccine certificate, not vaccine certificate, marriage document, to take a picture and send to us. We're frantically trying to do that, and then she turns around and says, no, she needs the original document. And I said, well, what about if I manage to obtain a copy online? Because I know that you can order them online. And she said, no, we need the original document signed in church. So I said, what if you've lost that? Does that mean that you can never have a holiday with you? And she said, no, it's got to be the original document. It's new to us, these vaccine passports and stuff. It's all new. It's all very new. And we said, well, yeah, it's new to us. Like, she was really rude, I've got to say. She was really, really rude to us. And really not helpful at all. It's probably some of the worst customer service that I have ever experienced, I've got to say. So that's it. I can only have my original document. She was like, just face it, you're not going anywhere today, so I suggest you decide what you're doing. She was just the most unhelpful person ever, and me and Gavin were the ones coming up with the ideas of how we could make it work. So I said, what about if my name was changed? If we got an email from the government to say, because all our vaccine passports and everything are issued by the government here, we don't have the NHS. So she said, if you can get an email, that's fine. So we contacted Jersey government. And honestly, they were the most helpful out of everyone. They were trying to help us, but they didn't have data protection in at the weekend. So there was nothing that they could do in terms of accessing my record and amending it and sending an email. Literally, all they wanted was an email confirmation that said, this is the same person. And so we stood there, honestly, I was in tears. Like, I was just exhausted from working ridiculous hours, doing this event, and then travelling to Glasgow. And it was our first ever family holiday. We've never been on holiday with Ren before, and we just really needed it. And we were just so exhausted. Well, I was just so exhausted in particular. And the way we were treated was just appalling. And I just burst into tears. And she was just so insensitive. She literally just walked off and didn't acknowledge that I was upset. I genuinely thought I was going to faint at one point. I know that sounds really dramatic, but it's like, it felt like it wasn't real. Like it was a movie. You know when you see like on TV where they're like, you're not going on holiday or you're being detained or whatever. That's what it felt like. So then we were like frantically looking at ways around it and things that we could do while they just stood there and didn't even speak to us. So then Gavin went up to the desk and said, so what about people that aren't vaccinated? And they said, well, you have to have a COVID test. So he said, well, if she got a COVID test now, would you be able to do it? And he said, yeah, you've got 25 minutes. There's a COVID test centre down there. So I legged it as fast as I could. Got there. By this time it was 2 o'clock. And it said it shut at 1 o'clock. And then I came back and he was like, oh, is it shut? And then they were like, oh, anyway, it takes 12 hours to come back. And I was like, you literally stood there and told me to go and run and where the vaccine centre was. And now I've come back. You just like, oh, it was shut. Oh, it takes 12 hours anyway. It was absolutely shocking and appalling. Like, if I saw a young family in that situation with a 2-year-old, like Ren was being a terror as well. She was just like running off. We were trying to keep her with us whilst trying to sort it out. And they were just so rude, so uncaring. It's like they weren't even human. Like, they really just did not care. And then she walked up to us and said, what's your booking reference number? I need to tell them you're not on this holiday. And then she took it from me, walked off, and they closed the desk and walked off and just left us, knowing that we don't live in the UK, we'd flown to Glasgow, and knowing that we were stranded with nowhere to go, no hotel, nothing. So they said, well, you'll receive a call in 24 hours. So we tried to phone TUI and speak to them. And again, the woman on the phone was so rude. She just kept trying to refer us to the NHS app. And we kept saying, we are not on the NHS. We live in Jersey. We don't have the NHS. And she kept saying, it's your fault. You should have checked the NHS app. And she was just really dismissive and said, someone will call you back. Bear in mind, like, we don't know what to do. So at this point, we're like, we're going to have to check back into this hotel. So we checked back into the hotel. Ren was just ecstatic to be back in the room because we had like 2 double beds and she was just jumping between them. And then we were like, what do we do? So we decided to change our flight from Glasgow to back to Jersey to the following day because obviously we couldn't get anything. It was like 3 o'clock and there was no more flights back to Jersey that day. So we managed to change our flight to Jersey back on the Monday. No, Sunday it was. This is Sunday. Yeah, Monday was a bank holiday, luckily. So we changed our flight and it was due to come at like 1 o'clock, I think it was. Yeah, 1:30 it was, and lands at 3 o'clock. So we changed the flight. It cost us 120 quid to change our flight. I mean, we'd already paid for a return flight, but it was an extra 120 quid for that flight. It was an extra like 100 and something quid for the hotel room as well. So it was like 220, 250 quid by this point, with no guarantee of us going on a £2,000 holiday. So after that, we were just like, let's go out and have a drink. And Gav was like, dress up. I looked like death. So I was like, I felt like I was putting these clothes on and trying, but I just looked horrendous. So this is why, as you know, like, I've been MIA on social media because I've just been so drained. I looked horrendous and I just did not have it in me. I couldn't face it. Like, I couldn't even face to film at the time. So we went for dinner. Really lovely place called Juniper in Paisley. If you're there, go and check it out. Really lovely people. And then we went aboard the flight the next day, and just as we got on the plane, TUI decided to phone us back. So we said, we land in literally an hour and a half. Can you phone us straight back? Landed in Jersey, went and were tested, and I have been travelling between Jersey and the UK with the same vaccine certificate and my passport with no trouble whatsoever. So that was another point that we made. But yeah, and the other thing I did say was when we went to the check-in desk initially. You okay? She's very snotty. She's got a cold. So one thing I forgot to say was at the check-in desk for TUI, they took my vaccine certificate and passport, checked them both, and said that's fine. You just need to do the passenger locator form. So I was like, okay, and decided to do it. They never said anything about them being in a different name then. They didn't mention it. They just said that I had to fill in the form. Surely if they'd have picked it up at that point, knowing that it was different and that I didn't have my marriage certificate, original marriage certificate, they wouldn't have let me go to all the trouble of standing and trying to fill out the form. I then went to try and fill out the form like 2 or 3 times and it kept like failing. And they just stood there. So I must have been stood there for like half an hour trying to fill out this form that I didn't even need to do because apparently I couldn't fly. It was just a shambles. Anyway, so they wouldn't have even noticed if I hadn't have said anything, which is the funny part. I even phoned up the registry office in the UK and they were so helpful as well. It was literally everyone but TUI were really helpful in this situation. So anyway, we got home, we were just exhausted, we literally just slept. And then the following day, I started to really not feel very well. Gavin and I had shared a bottle of champagne the night before, and he was like, oh no, it's the champagne. And I was like, no, it really is not. And I pretty much slept the whole day on the bank holiday Monday. And we did like go to the zoo for about an hour, but I was just absolutely knackered. We still hadn't had a call from TUI at this point, even though they promised to call us the previous day. So they called us about 3 o'clock. So in total it was probably like 48 hours. I know they did try on the Sunday, but we were flying. I mean, what other chance did we have? Like, what other choice did we have? Because we had already booked the week off work and it was matching up another week and being able to get the time off work. So we just decided to fly back. So TUI called us while we were in the car and they only had 1 room left and it was a swim-up room as opposed to the standard room. So we ended up having to pay an extra £800 for that room, and we also changed our flights into Manchester. So hopefully we are going tomorrow. So we've actually managed to match it up so that we fly into Manchester like 10 to 10 and arrive there like 11:30, and then our next flight is like 3-4 o'clock in Manchester. So we actually managed to match it up so that we don't have to stay over. Although on the way back our flight is late. It doesn't get into Manchester like till like 2 a.m. and then our flight is 7 o'clock. But I said there's pointless paying £200 for a hotel room just for 5 hours. So Ren's got like a lie down push chair. We're just gonna stay in the airport and just grin and bear it. We've been through a lot these past few weeks. I'm sure we can hack a couple of hours missing sleep. So yeah, that's why I've been really MIA recently, and I've just really felt so down and not felt like facing filming. I was supposed to like film the whole journey and everything going there, but I didn't have time because it was a mad rush, and then with all that happening, yeah. And then on Monday I started with a stomach bug, so like feeling really sick and tired and getting really bad like rippling cramping all across my stomach. But I haven't been sick. I'm really funny with sick, like I avoid it at all costs. So I mean, like when I was pregnant I was that sick I didn't really have a choice, but if I know I'm going to be sick I will just like go to bed. So last night I was on the verge of being sick, so I went to bed and went to sleep, and usually that will sort me out. I actually feel a bit better today, so it's kind of lasted like 36 hours-ish. So, no more than that. 48, more than that. No, what, 40, 50, 60 hours. 60 hours, is that right? Yeah, 60 hours. We've literally not unpacked. We've left everything ready to go tomorrow. So I'm just sorting out the last couple of bits. So anyway, I'm just about to run into a meeting and then I'll catch up with you after because I have lots to do and lots to sort out. So I'll probably catch up with you after I finish work. Oh, so I finished work for the day and I've made myself and Ren a Greggs sausage roll. What is life if you can't have a Greggs sausage roll? So I am literally running around trying to sort some last bits before we go on holiday. What are you doing, you monster? What? Dragging up a trolley upstairs. So, yesterday, was it? Yesterday we had parcel delivered. So I have ordered Gavin a... You okay? So yesterday we had a delivery and I ordered Gavin a Christmas present and I was expecting to be able to carry it upstairs and be able to hide it before he got home. Turns out it weighed 65 kilograms, so not a chance in hell. So unfortunately he's seen it now and we put it up. So it is a brand new running machine. He tried it out yesterday, but it says it needs lubricating. And I've got to say, I've never lubricated one before. So I need to read some instructions, search online, find out what the hell I'm supposed to do with it, and sort it out. But I have also had delivered a parcel for myself. So this is an exercise bike. So at the minute this is the spare room. So we have literally like a clothes horse. Are you okay? And a TV stand that's not used, which is going to go to the skip now. I have put it up for sale. No one wants it. And nowhere is taking anything, I don't think, at the minute. So, and there's also like house clearance thing at the skip as well. So at the skip, at the tip. So I will take it there. I might also get rid of the clothes horse, but guaranteed if I do, our tumble dryer will break. So I'm undecided what I'm going to do with that yet. But I'm hoping to build this tonight at some point. But I don't know how I'm going to fit it all in, to be honest. There's so much to fit in. I want to tan. I need to do my nails because my nails are a mess. I've got a bit more washing to do, possibly some ironing. Got to strip and make the beds, but I might do that when I get home. I'll see how I feel tonight. Our bed is priority. This bed's not too bad. I mean, we land on the Saturday and my parents aren't coming till the Monday, so we've got time to sort that. Oh yeah, I've also got another video to film of all the things that I bought to take on holiday. So I did try and film that before we went, but I didn't have enough time. So I need to film like a try on of all the clothes I bought to go on holiday. So yeah, I best get to it. I think I'm going to pop to the skip first because it will be closing very shortly. Drop those off and then I'll sort out everything else. So I've just unpacked the bike and now I've got to work out how it goes. Gav also wants picking up in the next half an hour, so I have a bit of a challenge to get this done in time, so we'll see. So it's the next morning and we are all ready to go. I literally just need to get dressed and I managed to do the gym setup. So we have the exercise bike and the treadmill. We were optimistic and we're like, maybe we'll do a workout before we go. No. I literally need to shove my clothes on and run out of the door. Yeah.
My suitcase is downstairs.
Is it? Your suitcase is downstairs? Should we put it in the car then?
Yeah.
So yeah, I've literally... Well, you're going on holiday, aren't we?
Are we going on holiday at night time?
Kind of.
Kind of.
Yeah. She woke up at like 6:30 and it was pitch black outside, so she thought it was night time. So yeah, I'm literally gonna dash and shove my clothes on and run out the door. So I hope you enjoyed today's vlog. As always, if you could please hit the like and the subscribe button below, that would be amazing, and I will see you soon.